Breanna Stewart just revealed something shocking regarding Team USA. Fans are questioning whether the Dream Squad is in danger in light of the NBA superstar's remarks. Speaking of upending the status quo, Caitlin Clark recently put the basketball world on fire with a performance that broke all previous records. Let's dissect these instances that changed the game. However, let's stand back and examine Stewart's remarks in more detail. What is the true story behind her unexpected remarks? It's time to unravel this shocking revelation and discover the true nature of Team USA's situation. When Stewart discussed the team's chemistry problems, she didn't mince words. She stated bluntly that the first couple of games could be shaky. You don't typically hear it from a player on a club that has dominated for a long time. What is causing her such anxiety? Then, as it happens, there's more to it than a few poorly executed practice sessions. According to Stewart, the group is building chemistry and focusing on the basics. That is somewhat alarming when considering a team of top athletes who need to be honing their strategy rather than practicing the basics. This is where things start to become very interesting, though. We probably won't show everything we've got because we haven't even gotten them great at the basics, Stewart revealed.
Whoa.
Folks, it is a serious warning sign. Team USA seems to be having trouble with things that ought to have been secured months ago. What, therefore, is generating all of this doubt? Is it the stress of upholding their extraordinary legacy? Or perhaps they're shaken by the emergence of new celebrities like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. It's probable that Team USA is doubting their own skills after witnessing these young players dominate the collegiate game. And let's face it, Stewart's remarks won't simply vanish into thin air. They will significantly affect how people see Team USA. Supporters are accustomed to believing that this team is untouchable. But now, doubt is beginning to sneak in. And after listening to a teammate show such a lack of confidence, you have to wonder how the other players are feeling. Furthermore, it goes beyond public opinion. The morale of the team may be negatively impacted by these remarks. Everyone must be concerned when one of your best players suggests that you might not be prepared for the big stage. When you're trying to get ready for the Olympics, this type of activity might cause you to lose concentration. The problem is that this could be just what Team USA needs. Perhaps Stewart's candor will inspire them and motivate them to put forth more effort. Or perhaps it will absolutely backfire and their amazing Olympic run will come to an end. Let us now discuss the Caitlin Clark effect. In addition to creating waves, this rookie star is wreaking havoc on the WNBA. Do you recall the attendance figures that broke records? You'll be amazed by the intricacies. So fasten your seatbelt. Clark is changing the course of history in addition to playing basketball. The most recent game of the WNBA All-Star? A staggering 3.4 million people watched it on ABC. That isn't only a minor hiccup. It completely broke the record of 1.4 million, which was set in 2003. We're talking about an audience that is more than twice. There's more though. This was no ordinary record. The All-Star Game surpassed all other WNBA events in terms of viewership on any ESPN network. Never. Additionally, it is currently the third most viewed WNBA game ever. When we say Caitlin Clark is altering the game, we mean that type of effect. Okay, but that's just one game, right? Is what you may be thinking at this point. False. The impact of Clark extends well beyond a single incident. Here's the thing. She has participated in 15 of the 17 WNBA games that have attracted more than 1 million viewers this season. It had been 16 years since the league had seen such high numbers. Not only is that amazing, but it's revolutionary. And when does Clark compete against other up-and-coming talents? Things become pretty heated at that point. Clark's Indiana Fever and Angel Reese's Chicago Sky faced off in the season's 2 most-watched non-All-Star games. Each of the 2 games had over 2 million views. Star power, like that has the ability to change a league. Let's consider the bigger picture. With 3.4 million spectators, the 2024 All-Star Game, compared to the previous year when there were only an average of 850,000 viewers, it is a huge increase. In a single year, we're talking about quadrupling the viewership. And Clark's arrival in the league is largely responsible for that expansion. What does the WNBA stand to gain from all of this? The answer is straightforward. Caitlin Clark is raising awareness of the sport in a level that has never been done before. She is a sensation in addition to being a fantastic player. Viewers are paying attention to Caitlin Clark play basketball, not just basketball in general. The problem is that there is more than one player involved. The league as a whole is being lifted by Clark's achievement. More views translate into more sponsors, more attention, and more growth prospects. She is demonstrating that women's basketball can compete with other major sports and draw sizable crowds. Having witnessed the Caitlin Clark effect in action, let's move on to the topic of discussion. The USA Olympic team's lineup. Wait, isn't Clark a shoo-in for the team? Is what you may be asking yourself. Hang on to your seats, for this is where the fun begins. Team USA is now dealing with a serious problem. Do they continue to work with the tried and true veterans who have won gold after gold? Or do they bring an up-and-coming talent like Clark? It's a difficult choice, and both professionals and fans are speculating about it. Let's dissect it. There are several seasoned players on the current squad of Team USA. These ladies have the gold medals to show that they have been there, done that, and experienced it. The problem is that experience isn't everything. Take a look at Breanna Stewart's remarks about the team's preparedness. She worries that they haven't even mastered the fundamentals yet. Why, therefore, does Caitlin Clark not appear on the Olympic roster? Everyone is having a hard time answering this question. We're discussing a player who has increased WNBA viewing to all-time highs on his own. 3.4 million people watched the All-Star game. That's enormous. However, it appears that Team USA will continue to use their seasoned squad. Is this the appropriate call? Let's examine the benefits and drawbacks. On the one hand, there are athletes who are aware of the demands of competing in the Olympics. They have triumphed over the greatest in the world. You cannot teach that in a single day. However, you aren't taking advantage of the new enthusiasm and energy that athletes like Clark bring to the game. Not to be overlooked are those viewership figures. On the international scene, Clark's presence may spark even greater interest in women's basketball. This is when things become pretty complicated. It's possible that Team USA is hurting itself by leaving out Clark. Consider it. At the moment, she serves as the league's spokesperson. Her performance is the main reason why fans tune in. They could lose out on a significant increase in public interest if they leave her off the roster. It isn't just about the fans, though. Clark's style of play could be just what Team USA needs to maintain its lead. Recall Stewart's statement that the squad was having trouble with the fundamentals. Perhaps some new talent could make a difference and provide them with the advantage they require. Consider it. Team USA was the unchallenged leader in women's basketball until a few years ago. They could not be touched. Now, though, Stewart is publicly concerned with their performance. As recently as a few years ago, you would not have heard that. Furthermore, it's not taking place in a vacuum. The game is being completely transformed by the emergence of players like Caitlin Clark. Do you recall the audience figures we discussed? The number of viewers for the WNBA All-Star Game was 3.4 million. That is the largest crowd ever seen at a WNBA game on ESPN networks. Never. Additionally, Clark has appeared in 15 of the 17 games that have attracted more than 1 million viewers this year. It's more than just good. That is revolutionary. However, what does all of this signify for women's basketball going forward? First of all, there will be increased competition. It is anticipated that further talent will join the WNBA as its popularity grows. As more people watch the game, more young ladies will aspire to be like Caitlin Clark. This implies that the quality of play will only increase. Let's now discuss Team USA. For so long, their domination has been assumed. However, with this new generation of talent emerging, that may no longer be the case. Other nations are also becoming more competitive. They are learning from seeing these WNBA players. Team USA is aware that the deficit is narrowing. That's most likely the reason Stewart seemed so anxious. She is aware that winning gold just by turning up is no longer an option. To maintain their lead, Team USA will need to put forth more effort than before. And the sport benefits from it. Better games, greater excitement, and even more people turning in are all results of increased competitiveness. International competitiveness isn't the only factor, though. Even the WNBA is evolving. The league is expanding as a result of stars like Clark drawing millions of spectators. For players, we're talking about increased funding, visibility, and opportunity. For women's basketball, this may mark the beginning of an entirely new era. What do you think, then? Will the supremacy of Team USA come to an end soon? Or do they simply need a little motivation to make a bigger effort? What changes do you think the WNBA will undergo in the upcoming years? Post your opinions in the space provided below. We would want to know what you think about the changing landscape of women's basketball. Women's basketball is undoubtedly more thrilling than it has ever been. We're going to see some incredible games in the upcoming years as budding talents push the veterans to new heights. The future of women's basketball is bright, whether it is played in the WNBA or internationally. Additionally, you won't want to miss a moment of it. This is only the start of a whole new ball game, so keep an eye out. Thanks for watching and subscribe my channel.